So hello 8th graders, this is Mr. Schmitt, your 7th grade history and language arts teacher. Welcome to the 8th grade California Standards STAR Test review of your 7th grade history year. I want to welcome you guys and say thanks for tuning in today. The test that you guys are going to take coming up is pretty important. It's pretty challenging, but I think you guys will have been well prepared based on this review. So let's get started. First things first. What I want you guys to remember is that the way that we remember things is that we connect things to images. Okay, when you think about it, the words I'm speaking to you right now are not running as a ticker tape across the screen. You don't listen to words, or you don't see the words, but you understand what I'm talking about as I'm speaking to you. And so this review that you're going to get into today is all about connecting information to images. So for example, if I told you that because you know how a plant grows, you can explain how the Renaissance grew. Hold on, I'll show you for example over here. For example, if you could tell me how a plant grows, you could essentially describe the Renaissance. For example, if I had a plant and I called it Renaissance, sort of like an apple tree or asparagus or lemon tree or something like that. But I'm going to call my plant Renaissance, okay? The plant Renaissance only grows in the soils of Europe, okay? You know how you can't have a banana tree growing in the Arctic, right? It's not a good climate. The climate for our plant Renaissance was only Europe, the soils of Europe. And its roots were in classical and medieval culture, language, learning, okay? And if you think about it, plants need a number of things to grow. First of all, can a plant grow without water? Ever tried to grow a plant without water? What happens to it? Dies, right? Dries up and dies. What if I said our plant Renaissance doesn't get water, it gets travel and commerce, or it gets what it needs is travel and commerce. All right? So what is travel and commerce doing? It's providing the hydrogen and the oxygen. And the hydrogen and oxygen are going to be used by our plant Renaissance to create food. Food for us on our plant Renaissance is flowers. Flowers of art and learning. Now, the seeds of our plant Renaissance come from the growth of city-states. City-states were the Italian city-states. Now I know you guys have heard of city-states before. States when you talk about Mesoamerica or Central America, the civilizations of the Americas. When I'm talking about specifically, these are the Italian city-states. Okay? Those are our seeds. So our plant Renaissance grows in Europe, is fed by trade and travel and commerce. It comes from the seeds of the city-states, and basically it's the engine, the fuel that is from our sun. Our sun here is called the philosophy of humanism, the belief in the power of the individual, right? So if I said that you could describe how a plant grows, and by consequence how the Renaissance grew in Italy, you kind of get what I'm talking about here. All right, so when you hear the word or term Renaissance, I want you to think of the plant. I want you to think of all the functionality that goes along with the plant. Now, in addition to this image, I want you guys to think also about how we learn. And one of the things that I want you to understand is that ever since you're a baby, you've been taught or trained how to recognize faces. Right? When you were a baby, you sat in the crib and you cried, mommy or daddy would show up, right? They look over the crib and go, oh, I recognize that face. Ah, something good is going to happen because mommy and daddy are there, right? Right? Ever since you were little, right? I mean, obviously, you know, somebody stranger shows up, you're gonna keep crying, right? But because you recognize the face, you understand what comes along with that face. So what if I said that because you have been trained since you were a baby on how to recognize it, I'm going to say that you could recognize the faces and associate the faces of the people from the Renaissance with the information that goes with them. First of all, let me point somebody out here. All right, here with the number 2 next to him. Who's that face right there? How many of you guys think you can tell me what that face is? All right. Who's he look like? Jesus, right? That's right. Okay, he's Jesus. No, he's not Jesus. Okay, it's not Jesus. His name is Albrecht Dürer. And by consequence, Albrecht Dürer is a very talented German artist, woodcut artist. Okay, so you think of Jesus, you think of dying on a cross, piece of wood connects you to Albrecht Dürer, connects you to being a woodcut artist. You know, any one of these faces you could associate with something else because you've been taught to recognize faces and then recognize the information. So for example, ladies, what do you guys think about this guy right here? He's hot, right? You want to date him, don't you? No, you don't. Look, he's lost most of his hair. He's bald. He's got big fuzzy face. You know, he's ugly, right? No, look. This is Leonardo da Vinci. Now that you know the ugly face guy like this is Leonardo da Vinci, you can start to associate, oh, this is the same guy who's known for all those scientific achievements, all those, all the paintings like the Mona Lisa, his carving, his sculpting and all that. You can start to think with the face comes the information. Okay? You can connect to them. I want you to take a minute to start to process these people along with their faces and their information. All right? But not to be left alone. All right? Once again, when you think of age of exploration, you think of a map. All right? And associated with that map are a number of different explorers, like Da Gama, Columbus, Magellan, Hudson. What did they? Where did they explore? What do we have as a consequence of this period of time, this age of exploration? The scientific revolution. Okay? What were the things that were discovered or invented during this period of time? All right? Galileo, Newton, Copernicus. All right? Associate information with the image, all right, of the universe or the galaxy. All right? At the time. Also, during this period of time, I want you to think of a real change in the way people believe, all right? This thing that we call the Reformation. People like Desiderius Erasmus, God, I love that name. Martin Luther, John Calvin, King Henry VIII. All of these things can be associated with a road. Okay, the road's called Christianity. They're off of our road, Christianity, like Orthodox Church. But then the road gets rough, as you can see right here. And what happens is the church splits. The Christian church becomes two churches, the Catholic Church and then the Protestant Church. And these are the people who we need to remember who brought about those types of changes. Big changes in the world at this time. And then, of course, you talk about the Reformation without looking at a Venn diagram. All right? What did they share in common? What were the things that separated them or what was different about them? So as you guys have a chance to think about or study or prepare for the upcoming history test, information that you need to remember with images. And I want you to talk a lot about it to your friends, to the dog, to whomever will listen. And if nobody will listen, talk to them. It works. Anyways, good luck to you all, and I hope you guys all do well.